Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Spiritual Hope on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to this video. I'm trying to get my subscribers up. I'm still new in the YouTube game, but it's been therapeutic for me. I'm gonna make a quick video on relationships. I know I'm definitely not a love guru. I'm not an expert. I've messed it up more than anyone. So this is more of a video based on my bad experiences and why a lot of my relationships failed. But I'm gonna cater this to a specific kind of ideology that I think affects a lot of people. So I'm gonna title this video. It's gonna be called "Do You Love Them or the Idea of Them?" And what I mean by this is a lot of people, they get in relationships and you know 6 months in, a year and a half in, for some people a couple weeks in, and it's crumbling to the ground, and they don't understand why. Well, a lot of people, including myself, have done this. You fall in love with the idea of somebody. You know, um, a lot of times you make up, you know, the perfect partner in your head, and somebody comes along, so you just put them in that slot of what, we all have this belief system of what the perfect partner is. Oh, I wish somebody was like this, or I wish somebody did that. So a lot of people, they get caught in the attraction trap. They're super attracted to somebody. The sex might be good. They're fun to be around, and that's why like the honeymoon phase fizzles out really fast for a lot of people. And I think most relationships fail because based on the simple fact that people don't really take the time to self regulate and ask themselves what is their soulmate, what does it mean for them. I mean, you see a lot of these funny memes floating around on the internet about how women or men, I don't want to offend anybody, will post this person's my world, and the funny little picture with Kermit the Frog saying this is your fifth world, and in 6 years what are you building, a solar system? And it's kind of like that. We want somebody to be our world so much. We want a life partner, we want a soulmate, but how much thought have you really put into what that means for you? I mean, what is a soulmate? For some people, a soulmate just is arm candy. And you see a lot of these relationships blossoming late teens, early 20s. Everybody's young, hot, and trendy, and it's all, exciting and fun, and the bar scene and all this. But as you get a little bit older, and I'm entering the beginning stages of my 40s, you really start to understand that it's so much more than attraction or good sex. And a lot of people in the beginning, they talk. So, you're in the conversation stages, and, oh, I'm this kind of person. And I mean, anyone that's ever met anybody off the internet or has been catfished has experienced this. I mean, you might talk to somebody for a year and you think you're in love with that person, and then you meet them and you're like, what the fuck? So, why does that happen? Because we fell in love with the idea of somebody. And I spent a lot of relationships trying to conform my partner into what I believed was a good partner. As I got older and I could look back across my life, you can understand, you can kind of study the patterns and be like, this person was a good person for me. That person wasn't. This person was, and you kind of get a better understanding of what you really want. But I think desperation and loneliness is at an all-time high. Marriages are crumbling to the ground. I mean, I think so many relationships are failing right now based on the principle that people are selfish. We want the person to be who we want them to be. We want the person to do what we want them to do. We want them to dress how we want them to dress. And the thing is, have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what do I love about this person? Take looks aside. You know, for men, if you're with some beautiful woman right now and you've been together a year or 2 years and it's still exciting and fun, ask yourself this: if she was to lose her looks, if she was to gain 100 pounds or get into a car accident and become completely mangled, could you take care of this woman for the rest of your life? And women, you can ask men the same thing. If you're with some hot little 20 something right now who's got a six pack and he's all ripped and he's got a six-figure job, would you love him if he put on 100 pounds, lost his hair, lost a job? Would you take care of him if he had no job? So, you know, how important are the pillars, of the relationship? Things like stability, um, who they are versus, what they believe in versus the kind of person they are. And I think if you ask yourself these questions, you'll come to a better understanding of what that partner means for you. I mean, we're in a fast-paced world where people are rushing into relationships. You got Tinder, you got Facebook dating, you have, a million. I mean, if you want to go on a date at 4 o'clock and it's 2 o'clock in your afternoon, the internet makes that available to you. Respect for our partners has gone down a lot too. I often always wondered why our parents' generation was so much stronger. Marriages back then were like concrete. You got married and you stood by your partner's side for life. I mean, people held to their vows, and this is the instant generation. I mean, people will throw away a 5-year relationship, and within 20 minutes of their partner walking out the door, they can have another partner pulling up. I mean, it's so accessible, and I think that it's devalued a lot of our values and the way we think and view relationships. For me, a lot of my relationships haven't worked because I don't like to conform, to somebody else's ideology. So when women have fell in love with the idea of me versus who I actually am, it's 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 hard for me to kind of conform. I believe in meeting in the middle and kind of creating your collective story versus one person's way or the other person's way. But I I've struggled with conforming to completely surrendering my existence to a female and just becoming their Ken doll or whatever. But it's a shame because I look around, I get on the internet and I see a lot of people, 29, 31 years old. They're on their third, some of them are on their fourth marriage and they're like 30. So, I've put a lot of thought into this, and I think that uh, the big reason for this is a lot of people are falling in love with the idea of somebody, and we're trying to put a square through a circle. And a lot of times, we force it or we stay in relationships 5, 10, 15 years too long sometimes. A lot of women and a lot of men fall out of love in the first year, sometimes the second year, but we stay for convenience, or some people stay for financial reasons or kids or what have you. And to me, the biggest tragedy in this life would be spending your life with the wrong person. And this happens to a lot of people. A lot of people's happiness depends on how their relationship is coexisting. A lot of people's um, situations and journeys. Some people have to give up on their dreams. And that happens too. You have men that don't support their women's dreams, and you have women that don't support their men's dreams. And I've said two of the biggest philosophies that I've really honed in on in the last couple of years. Are one is that love is about appreciation and it's not about ownership. And a lot of people can't get that. They're trying to control their partners. They're trying to dictate their spending, or they're trying to dictate, you know, their work schedules, or they're trying to dictate instead of just dialing yourself back to that beginning stage and appreciating them when you were trying to win them over. And the second biggest thing is just the tail end of that last philosophy. People stop doing the little things. Once you think that you have it, the chase is kind of over. And that happens in almost every relationship. I mean, women love to be chased. They like to be hunted. They like the feeling of a man, going the extra mile, doing the back rubs, buying the flowers, all those little things. And then, when it comes to an end, a lot of men are left holding the bag, wondering why their woman doesn't look at them the same, or doesn't act the same, or doesn't treat them the same way. And a lot of times you got to look inward. It's because you stopped doing the things you were doing when you were trying to get them. When you were trying to catch them, man, you were doing everything. You were cleaning up a little nicer, you were smelling a little better, you were going the extra mile, and then once you have them, you kind of like, whatever. It becomes Netflix and chill every night, and the passion goes away, the communication goes away, and it's a tragedy, really. I was fortunate in my life to be raised by parents that didn't get it right all the time, but I will say this, my parents loved each other till the very end. 30 something years of marriage, they're both deceased now, but they were still kissing 25 years into their marriage. A lot of couples 3 years in, and they're not even sleeping in the same bedrooms anymore. So I don't know. I kind of got all over the place with this video. Like I said, I'm still kind of new to this. I get a little nervous, and sometimes I just ramble on and off. But I just wanted to kind of, get some people's thoughts on relationships and how they feel and what's been going on with them. This is just a little bit of my 2 cents of why a lot of relationships are struggling right now. And like I said, I haven't got it perfect. I'm not a love guru, so these are just some of my thoughts on the situation. If you guys like this video, just please try to subscribe. Leave something in the comments for me. I'll subscribe to y'all's channels too if you post your own videos and you want me to check it out. Let me know. Appreciate you guys. Love you.